Good evening, everybody. And I'm seeing people are joining in. Dr. Galgali, is it possible that you can open up your video? Let me also set up certain protocols of the webinar. Whatever questions you have, there is a question and answer section. You can actually write down all your questions there. Okay. When time comes, we will start asking these questions one by one. Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining in.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, can I also ask all the participants to write down the questions that you are trying to seek answers for? By the time he's settling off, let me ask a question to everybody. Quick question to everybody. What are the top challenges or top questions? One question that you want to ask. Please write down in your question box. And I have Aarti's first question that's already come in. Aarti, thank you very much for the question. Discuss points related to kids' safety in COVID, what to follow and what not to follow. Wonderful, very nice, good question. Thank you very much for that question.
So it's what to follow and what not to follow.
Yes, but just quickly, I wanted to share with everybody because your video is still. If you can disconnect and connect back, possibly. I'm assuming you are in clinic right now.
Yes, I just finished with my OPD and I am in clinic now.
Right. Can I request you to just switch off your video and switch it on again, because there will be possibility that we will be able to help you. संदेश जी क्वेश्चन ये जो है क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर सेक्शन में डालिए ताकि उन क्वेश्चंस को एक एक करके हम सॉल्व कर पाए. ओके, संदीप शाह, you've joined us from Ahmedabad. I'm sure I know about that. Okay, Manjusha, please put all your questions. These all questions will be lost if you put it in chat box. Okay, chat box is made for something else. Please put all your questions in your Q&A section. We already have 7 questions that have come up. All right, I'm waiting for more questions. Dr. Galgali, are you able to hear us?
Okay, so we should go with the first question here. Kids safety in COVID.
Exactly. We should go with the first question. I think more important question. Before question, let me introduce you to the people.
I cannot hear you properly.
There's a network issue. You can close your video and we will only listen to your audio. Absolutely fine, no problems with that. We have to continue now. My question to this is for your introduction. Dr. Galgali happens to be a PhD in Sanskrit. He is a PhD holder in Ayurveda. He has been practicing for the last 30 years. He is a founder of one of the oldest Ayurvedic hospitals in Pune called Punarvasu. He was the founder of that. He's now handed it over completely to a professional body to handle this. He has been consistently working on the input of people, of what is the input that you're taking of all your medicines, all your lifestyles, all your food, and his practice is based in Pune. Our goal today, while he's there on us for discussion, is to understand and realize what do we need to do if we have not been affected by COVID. How do we stay away from it? If we are affected by it, what do we do? Post that, what do we do and what do we take care of? So all these 3 questions and all the very important questions that we have, which have come in from here, like kid safety, turmeric really helps, Ayurveda, mantra for solution, security of vaccines or vaccination. All of these questions need to be answered, and he is definitely the right person to answer this. So I'm going to quickly ask the first question. I think more important question is COVID treatable by Ayurveda? Okay, can it be treated? I'm assuming, Dr. Galgali, you can listen to me. I'm requesting you.
Yes.
I can listen to you. Wonderful. So
Okay.
the first question is COVID treatable by Ayurveda? Over to you. We are all listening to you.
Dr. Ganguly,
Yes.
you can switch off your
So,
video. That will make it easier for all of us to listen.
okay, perfect.
Yeah. Now we can listen to you. Please go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
we can.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. See, Ayurveda can treat the disease like COVID first, but let me clarify it more. COVID treatment is meant with the treatment of COVID virus, or COVID coronavirus. And there is no such virus or bacteria described in Ayurveda. So, if we see on that perspective, is corona treatable by Ayurveda? No. Is typhoid treatable by Ayurveda? No. If malaria is treatable by Ayurveda? No. We can cure all the symptoms and all the pathology generated by these diseases. So, in that perspective, yes, we can treat COVID, malaria, and typhoid like parasite-induced diseases. So, in a pure way, whenever the parameters comes with the treatment of any allopathic or modern diagnosed disease, the parameter stands measured in the parameter decided by modern pathology. Like now, COVID is RT-PCR positive or negative like that. We can cure the patient by symptoms and total restore his health. So, whenever I will say I treat COVID, I means I treat the parallel pathology described in Ayurveda like corona. Yes, I can treat that. Similarly, I will describe in few more lines. It has few additions like there is no one diagnosis for corona in Ayurveda. There are multiple diagnoses for corona in Ayurveda. Like it is a jvara, that is fever. Also, it is like kasa, that is coughing. Also, it is like shwasa, it's asthma type of disease. And also, it is some raktadushti, that's blood impurity diseases. Also, it has some pranavayu like vatic diseases. So, there are multiple sets of pathologies we see as per Ayurvedic perspective. Some of them are completely treatable, some of them are partially treatable, some of them, right from the diagnosis, they are non treatable. So, when I say corona is treatable, I say these pathologies which are treatable in Ayurvedic manner.
I think that was a very crisp and clear answer, and probably that's one of the things that uh, that makes you and your practice so unique, that the simplicity of helping us understand what it means. And I'm just reiterating this for everybody to understand once again that uh, according to the Ayurvedic perspectives, what Dr. Gargali says is there are number of pathogens and number of various pathogens that are there, and they have to be treated in different ways. And few of them will be 100% curable, few of them will not be. I think that's a very clear answer that you've given. I have one more question, because all these questions were taken well before the before the webinar was to be conducted. Uh, Many immunity related medicines are there in market, and do you suggest any of those immunity, like immunity boosters, and a lot of things are available? Is there, does Ayurveda support immunity, increase in immunity? Does it support doing that?
Yes, sure, but I will clarify it more.
Mm-hmm.
I had already written one article when in the last year we started with this corona sessions, and it is there on our Facebook page, Arogya Sarthi Chikitsalaya Facebook page.
Sure.
I will elaborate a few points of that. Immunity is generalized immunity and specific immunity. These are the two types. And if anybody wants to take a tablet and want to earn immunity, is illusionary thing. This cannot happen.
Okay.
Taking some supplements or some vitamins or some minerals and expecting that your immunity will be good is completely an illusionary thing. This is not a fact. This can be a marketing strategy for many persons, but this is not the practice we can see in our clinic. What is necessary for general immunity? If you want to have a general immunity, then the main thing what you should have is Satmya concept of Ayurveda. Satmya means what you practice daily and do daily affect you much. That is the basic concept. So the regularities in your lifestyle, consuming healthy things, not once a while, daily practicing it, makes you healthy for longer time and give you immunity in generalized way.
True.
So that is the general immunity. It cannot be earned in a day. There are specific immunities which you earn in a different way. For example, if you have Chyawanprash, you can have some immunity for your lungs. Similarly, for exercise, if you go for some cardio exercises, you can go have good immunity for your lungs. If you have good quality buttermilk, you earn good immunity for your intestines. If you consume Amla regularly, you consume very good immunity for your brain. If you have almond, you earn immunity for specific things like brain, for bone marrow. So there are some specific immunities are also there. There is also immunity, what you can say, the starting balance. Once you start, when you open account, you deposit some opening balance in it. That opening balance comes from your parents. So you have your inbuilt immunity coming from your parents. And it is your own responsibility to hold it, to increase it, and hand over it to the next generation with responsibility. Many persons we can see, they do many wrong things, but they not get affected because their inherited immunity, their opening balance is really good. So they don't get their checks bounced. Right?
True.
So that is the immunity. It's like a bank balance. If I sleep in time, I put some 100 units in my health balance. If I do exercise daily, I put daily 100 rupees in my health balance. If I eat something outside on street food, I withdraw some units from my health balance. If I stay awake, if I miss my meal time, I withdraw some units. So this is the balance always. You put and you withdraw. There is not, biology is a dynamic. Life is a dynamic. It is continuously flowing. So don't expect you do one thing and have immunity for all. It can be a marketing strategy. So having regularities in your habits and having good habits, that is a very important thing.
True. I think I am a living, practicing person that you have been coaching for last 3 years on
Sure,
right
sure.
habits, on sleep, on my physique. Yeah. So I know what you're saying. I remember once you said the day you start exercising, you don't have to come back to me again. And I think
Correct.
that's what has happened. We talking to each other in a different platform, but I think year and a half back when you told me the only thing that you now need to do is to exercise, and trust you me, I've obeyed what you said, and I see the results coming off. So thank you very much for that guidance and coaching that you've done for me for the last 2-3 years. So I think I have also published a video, Dr. Galgali, for everybody's understanding. I'm sharing this. I'm a hypothyroid detected patient. I don't know. I don't want to call myself as a patient. I have never taken thyroxine. The only thing that I have done is followed what Dr. Galgali says, and it has always worked. So it has always given me strengths for what I do, and the right balance of food, sleep, habits is what makes the change. So thank you very much for sharing. I just thought I will also value add for everybody of how important that is. Uh, does this, there are various types of kadas that are now getting created all around the world. I think majorly in India, and something in turmeric, something in tulsi, something in ajwain, and some and you have these WhatsApp university that is talking about everything in life. So do you think it is useful? Does it really help?
See, there is difference between information and knowledge.
I agree.
Correct. So I will give you a very simple example to understand this. A statistics is an information. For example, if I tell you this 20% chances are there that this patient will get cured, that is information. But the patient sitting in front of me falls in that 20% or in 80%. To take that judgment and do the action is knowledge. So having a perfection and customizing that information in a particular situation makes that information, converts it into knowledge.
True.
Correct. So these kadas are good in some situations. Like today in Pune, we are having a very heavy rain and all the conditions are changed here. So yes, these kadas are quite hot. They will reduce cough, mucus very fast. But in summer season, if you remember, it started from last March. So in April, May also, when the temperature was nearing to 40, still people were consuming black pepper, ginger. And this has produced a lot of bleeding piles patients. So this is a wrong use by many people, and many people have followed this information and considering as this is a knowledge. Whenever person receives something, he receives the information and understands this as a knowledge and starts implementing it. It is to be customized for that person. These kadas have performed very nicely in December and November.
Okay. Okay.
So the person who is having Pitta Prakriti, already having some, there are many women who are having excessive menstrual bleeding. If they consume these decoctions of turmeric or black pepper or tulsi, they will have profuse bleeding. So similarly, the persons who is having shift duties, they should not consume this type of hot preparations. Okay? So it is to be customized by some of your nearby Ayurvedic physician, and then only use it.
True.
Similarly, there are a few other things, not only kada. There is a presumption. I see just one video. Go for salt water gargles 4 times in a day. You just try this remedy for 4 days. You will start understanding how much this will take out all the smoothness from the throat. If you do this in this summer. Similarly, if you do this in monsoon or in winter, it will help you a little for a few days. Okay, so any one-sided thing always make you lose the balance.
So this is more curious out of the syllabus question that I'm asking you. For a common man, for somebody like me who's absolutely dumb in the understanding this, is there a common reference place that I can go and say, okay, this is the place that I can trust that I'll get a right information or probably a right knowledge that I can at least pursue and do something? Because the kind of medical conditions that are all around, where hospitals are flooded and the medicines are not available, I want to stay away from it as as far as possible, right? Is there something that you would suggest that if you've not been touched by COVID, please do all these things that are important. Where I
Yes, sure.
understand when you say that there is a customization done for everybody's prakriti.
Correct. There are generalized things also. Correct.
Sorry.
There are generalized things also which can be implemented to a broad understanding or broad understanding level or broad spectrum level. Sure. There are few things. If you want to have the kadha for this decoction of tulsi or miri or haldi, you can take this once or twice a week.
Okay.
This is one thing.
Okay.
Specifically, if you are feeling something sticky in your throat, yes, you should take this. One. You should have at least 1 liter of lukewarm water for your regular drinking. Specifically, this should go with dinner. Warm water with dinner is recommended for a very broad scale of people. Then one more thing, dinner should be light. It should be excessively light for those who are working from home continuously. Like having only one Rajgira laddu, having only one fulka, having only one katori of rice. I'm not saying all of these things. I'm saying or. Please.
This is all
so
or.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
This is
and.
or.
This is for everybody's
And.
information. He said one katori or one fulka. Okay, that's
Correct,
what he said.
correct.
Or one
Yeah,
chapati.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
one
yes.
roti.
Otherwise, people just note this down and told me, yes, I'm consuming all these things. And nowadays, we are eating good mango. So also having one mango as your dinner is also sufficient.
Okay.
So there are having very light dinner will save your digestion from getting imbalanced. So that's a very important thing.
True.
Also, using toothpaste is also a very simple thing, daily practice thing. But most of the toothpaste used in the market are sweet. They are not really having some astringent quality to extract unnecessary saliva and cough from your mouth. So this instruction is specifically for the kids. Those who are eating sweet, those who are eating sticky things like pizza, burger, consuming a lot of bakery products and chocolates. For those, they should use some powder like Triphala Churna, plain Triphala Churna. Or for kids, it is to be mixed with mulethi, that is Jeshtamad powder, with Triphala Churna. And if you remember Dabur Lal Dant Manjan, how we used to clean the tongue and gums.
Correct.
That is the correct way to clearly extract that unnecessary saliva. It's a very simple remedy, but it gives wonderful results.
Wonderful.
And avoiding few things in dinner, specifically like juice, excessive use of smoothie. Whenever the patient, if you have seen a lot of people selling juice and coconut water outside the hospitals.
Correct.
And most of the patients, they don't have appetite. Correct? And if you don't have appetite, just drink 150 ml of any juice and tell me if your appetite increases. It kills your appetite. So what is to be given in such conditions is hot, warm, freshly prepared soups. These are the things which are recommended if you are not feeling hungry. So this should be the one of the item in your food at least 4 times in a week. Any soup that will help you again to sustain very nicely. Having light exercise, but regular exercise. This is again recommended to a very broad spectrum of people. Very light exercise. Those who are doing regular exercise, they can increase it. But specifically, this is summer now. So you have already you are getting exhausted with due to sweating and much of warmer conditions. So it's better to restore your health and not to have very rigorous exercise. Regular exercise, that is very important point.
Wow.
I think these are very simple things and can be generalized very easily.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Can you suggest a specific diet of when people are almost working 24/7 from home? Is there a specific diet that you would suggest so that they would they would not get exposed to certain things? Is there certain kind of food that they should avoid, or there certain kind of food that they should have? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
See, this is a very large community. When I will put anything, I will tell you one story. There was a very good company. MNC actually was planning to start. It has started now already in India. 10 years ago, they approached me to start and be their formulator, to suggest with some formulations so
Correct.
that they can introduce with some products and they can go for some experimentations like that. I told them to give me some 21 days, at least 3 weeks, so that I can work on the 3 diseases they given to me. And after 3 weeks, I told them I can't do this because my brain always was in a customizing style. This specific person.
Mm-hmm.
So customizing in a broad way diet schedule. I will put some tags on that and then I will give you the diet.
Sure.
The age between 35 to say 60. Those who are rarely walking not more than 4,000 steps a day. See, this is very funny. We have to count the steps, how much we walk in a day, isn't it? So then those who are having normally daily bowel movement. So these are the 3 tags I'm putting on it. Correct? What they should avoid. Avoid means they should consume it once a week, not more than that. Like bakery products, farsan like chaat like things. They should avoid maida. They should restrict the quantity of raw food they are eating, specifically if they are vegetarians. Because by being vegetarian, they consume lot of fibers already. Again, stuffing with lot of vegetables and lot of salads will load lot of on the digestion power. Then what they should consume? For breakfast, I will suggest to skip breakfast by lunch. I think you remember your suggestion.
Yes, yes.
So better skip breakfast and directly have lunch. So lunch timing can be made earlier to 10:30 or 11 also. Just have lunch.
Just for everybody's understanding, I have my lunch at 9:30.
Correct. I also had my lunch by 9:30 or 10 and then only I come to clinic.
Right.
I finished my OPD by 2:30 or 3. Then I had my dinner by 5:30. So I am more like Jain than any Jain, right? So see, this will help you to be at work when you are doing your work with full concentration.
True, I agree 100%.
And if you have anything light in between, once that's okay. So consuming 2 times or 3 times, you should not exceed the frequency you are eating. Correct? Dinner should be light, and lunch you can have all the 4 items, the common Indian 4 items: roti, rice, dal, and vegetables. And surely those who are working for intellectually, they should have at least 1 or 2 teaspoons of homemade ghee.
Okay.
Correct? Homemade ghee they should consume. Those who are working intellectually, they should reduce oil consumption but continue with ghee consumption.
Okay.
Those who are working laborious work, they should have some meat or oil in their food. This is the things to be customized for the persons who are listening this lecture.
Wow.
And dal, which can be used very frequently, is moong, tur, and masoor. Can be practiced as much as frequency you can. Other items like rajma, chole, or chana, either of these items can be used once or twice a week.
Okay.
Preferably for lunch.
Preferably for lunch. Okay.
Correct.
Wonderful. Very nice.
For dinner, the person who is having complete sedentary life should start with rice, little rice at least. If they are not fond of rice, they can have jawar roti for their dinner. Avoiding wheat or reducing wheat is important for dinner. Correct? The snack items can be consumed in the afternoon, like upma or dalia, oats and vegetables, some parathas, or single paratha, reduce in quantity, 1 paratha, or 1 plain rava dosa or ghee dosa, or 2 idlis. It is a very common practice to have all idlis as your lunch. Correct? Lunch, idli is not a lunch or dinner item. Idli is a breakfast item, should be consumed in that quantity only. It will not produce any problems.
So you adhere to the hotel menu. It is good. That's what.
Yes.
You adhere to the hotel menu. So that's exactly why you don't get idlis in the afternoon. You get idlis in the morning, right? So wonderful. That was really nice. That was really nice. So we will move on to the next question. Are there any post-COVID complications that people might face, or at specific age group or something like that? Is that something that would happen? And of course, a supplementary question to that would be, what could be the possible things that people who've already been diagnosed by COVID, cured, what kind of lifestyle should they live?
Yeah. Post-COVID, some complications are seen with the persons who have consumed or being bombarded with lot of medicines, are more prone with the complications. See, this bombarding is due to the failure of getting control and getting complete knowledge of the situation. Ayurveda, homeopathy, allopathy, or Unani, all pathies are trying their best to serve the mankind. They are trying to serve the mankind with whatever the best knowledge they can have and they can give the service to. There is no firm or previous experience all these schools are having. So when the situation starts going out of the hand, they have to try different things, which may lead to different type of complications afterwards. The patient gets saved with a lot of efforts. But there are many complications seen as very weak digestion. This is the very commonest complication I have seen. This can be cured very nicely with patience. These persons who are suffering with very weak digestion, they start having continuous vomiting sensation, fullness of stomach, having bloated stomach, like that. In the situations, I suggest the person should have very light diet, like rice kanji. So make a soup of rice. Only one meal should be full meal. Reduce all other eatings to very minimal quantity. As if you are still having a fever, reduce all the food. Then very gradually increase your appetite. As if you are increasing and kindling a very weak fire by putting dry grass on it, then by small sticks, then you go finally to the big wood. What happens with the patient? They are already been taken off with their lovely food habits for a long time, not having any bakery, not having any rasa or tangdi for a very long time. So when they get cured, they just jump on it. And these complications can be seen popping up. So it
Like
can be,
tandoori's, right? You're saying like
yes,
tandoori.
yes.
Okay.
So what happens here? There should be some patience to come up to the normal diet. Give that time to your digestion. It may be 21 days or it may be 1 month. And very few medications are necessary to handle such a situation, specifically of a very poor digestion. There are some very extreme complications, like one part of the lungs is completely calcified. There are some issues with permanent issues with digestion, like having some bleeding piles or some permanent complications like heart wall diseases. I also have seen one complication of blocking of vein from the veins of the leg. So that is these are very severe complications. They needed to be treated only with the medicines, with a proper medication for a very long duration. But the commonest thing I am seeing is a weak digestion. So this is a very big appeal to all the persons who are getting cured from COVID. Don't jump directly to your routine, at least for a month. Take as much as rest you can take. Good sleep, very gradual increase in your food, very gradual increase in your exercise. This can handle the post-COVID situation very nicely.
So this is like what you're saying is build up your immunity slowly and steadily. Just don't jump into it
Correct.
because you
I
can.
will not use the word immunity. It is a very misnomer. So I will use the word strength.
Wow.
Strength of your digestion, strength of your lungs, strength of your muscles, and again, very important, strength of your willpower.
Correct.
Having that patience for 1 month really will build up your strength of your willpower.
Wow, wonderful. Doctor, we'll take questions now, and I have a question that's come from Kanchan. She says that post-COVID, I'm experiencing increased appetite. Is it normal? What can be done?
Yes. This is a pseudo appetite. Yes. These are the pseudo appetite. Because this is a complication of the drugs given during that, or also due to the stress and empty mind. This causes excess appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is having the side effect of drugs which has increased the heat in the body, that causes appetite. Along with the increased appetite, there are heat symptoms like burning of the foot sole, burning of eyes, chest burning. If these symptoms are along with the increased appetite, it should be treated simply with Amla juice, approximately 10 ml to 20 ml, mixed with at least double quantity of water in it, 2 or 3 times in a day.
Wow.
This will flush off the heat from the bowel and also through the urine. If it is due to the stress and dullness and emptiness of mind, you should start filling your mind with lot of work, positive work. It will help you. But yes, there are few patients with increased appetite, and it is a feeling of increased appetite, because if this continuation of increasing excess food goes on, this leads to swelling of the body. I will not say the obesity. I am saying swelling of the body, and this in turn affects the kidney. So having only sufficient quantity of water, not excessive water, and practice this Avla juice. This is not the season of having Avla, so you can use the ready Avla juices from many pharmacies. There is one company which is producing only Avla products. That's a very good brand, Nutramla. If you can get that, you can use this also.
Okay. I need to go to Aarti's question. She had written down she was the first person to write down the question. Discuss points about kids safety, and what to follow, what not to follow for kids.
Yes. First, very important thing about kids, as I suggested you, Dantamanjan. Correct? Kids' toothpaste are really yummy if you have tested it. It has very good quantity of mint in it. You can really lick it very nicely. So, and kids are the categories who consume lot of sweet, lot of sticky things like cheese, mayonnaise, lot of fruits. So, lot of saliva gets stuck in their throat. So flushing, this type of flushing is not possible by using sweet toothpastes. So first is using Dantamanjan, as I suggested earlier, of 1 part of Triphala Churna and 2 parts of Mulethi Churna, that is Jeshtamat Churna, and you can make it more effective by using just very little, 1 pinch of salt in it. This will just take out that sticky saliva very easily. One more very important thing for kids, take precaution that they will not consume ice cream, buttermilk, curd, pizza, pasta in dinner. You can give these things when it is very sunny day. Correct? You can give them all these things when it is a sunny. Surely it can be consumed nicely. But you can keep them on the rationing of all these atoms. You should make them having a habit of freshly cooked food.
Sure. Okay. I have a question which is very funny here. The gentleman's name is Sushil, and Sushil writes down. This is why people need to go to doctors. By the way, I'm sorry, Mr. Galgali, but
Oh, yes.
he's saying would Vico Vajradanti tooth powder is okay instead of making it. So this is one of the
See,
fundamental reasons why people come to doctors.
Correct. I do agree. Vajradanti can also be used. Surely.
Wonderful. So that's not a problem, right? So
yes, there are many. There is also one very good brand, but these are Vajradanti is not liked by the kids.
Okay.
But if you mix Mulethi and Triphala Churna, I have an experience that the kids ask for that powder to me. Oh, please give me that powder for my. That is very good.
True.
Great. There is also one for adults. There is also one item like Vithoba is also very good brand of having this Dantamanjan.
Wow. Okay.
So how do you spell that name? Vithoba.
Vithoba.
Vithoba. Okay.
Yes. VITHO. Vithoba. BA.
I've written it on the chat box for everybody. Sir, okay, Smita is asking a question. Will Jalaniti help in the COVID pandemic situation?
Pardon?
Jalaniti help in COVID?
Yeah.
Will
It's
it
very
help in
true.
COVID pandemic situation? That's the question.
Yes. It helps in COVID situation for sure. I have seen such patients who are getting recovered nicely. Even after the post-COVID after complications are also very nicely solved by this type of Jalaneti. One thing you should be very careful. You should learn this from a good person. Don't go to YouTube and just don't try to practice of yourself, please. Correct? So just
No, what you
learn
said
it.
is very true, but very, very true.
Yeah. Because Jalaniti is not a thing to be learned from YouTube. You need a good teacher for that. But this will be really useful, surely.
Great, wonderful, very nice.
Yeah.
We have next. Thank you very much, Meeta, for asking this question. We have next question that has come. Okay, I'm going to omit, friends. I'm going to omit questions which are probably not related to this because question like when is this COVID wave going to end? I mean it's like is it going to rain tomorrow? So I think these are not relevant questions as such, but there are very important questions that I'm going to focus on as well. This time the virus seems to impact people with good health routine as much as others. Is there any correction in the routine or immunity? So Radhika is asking this question. It seems that the virus is also attacking really healthy people who have better immunities and stuff like that. What is your take on that? I mean, ऐसा हो सकता है क्या कि वो अच्छे इम्यूनिटी या अच्छे वेल बिल्ड इंसान को वो शायद होके चला भी गया होगा, पता भी नहीं लगा होगा, ऐसा हो सकता है क्या? I mean, that's the question. Probably that's what she's trying to understand also.
Yes. This is not only for the COVID. This is applicable for all the conditions.
Okay.
Yeah. See, ऐसा है. I will tell you one example, analogy, and then I will come to the proper answer. When I was just coming to the clinic today, I was waiting for the signal. It turned orange just when I reached the line. So I stopped there. Then a car following me, just they went away. And when the green signal comes there, immediately at the same time, same parallel car, another parallel car, just me and that car, both of them passed the signal. So there are three cars. One of them that he is having a good faith. I can say the proper word from my Ayurvedic Samhitas. Daiva, his fate, correct? That he immediately got that green and he not needed to wait. So he immediately passed easily. I have not having that fate. I stuck with the orange and then red and waited. Another person, he came there, he broke the rule and he just gone from that line. All these three kinds are there in the society. Human is not bound only what they are doing now. This is one thing. But there are rules to follow. There are rules to be followed because they are natural rules. If you break them, as this person has broken, he will break the rules for more than 1 lakh time, but one time he will get that hit.
Wow.
Because, correct? So similarly, those who are following the rules regularly, there are different issues as this one is. There are some other issues like there is, as I told in the immunity, there is less opening balance. If they have something less opening balance immunity there, then this strucks very badly. There are some other underlying diseases. I know one of my patients, she was very good, following her lifestyle very nicely. She get recovered very fast when she came here. She followed all the rules. But she was having a history of hysterectomy at the age of 38. She followed rules and everything for last 15 years after that. But at the age of 52 now, she got COVID and she expired within 4 days. So this history for layman don't carry weight. They see that she's following all the rules and she's being so good. But having that bad blood retained in the body made her susceptible for many diseases. This is the pathology I can understand as a doctor.
Wow.
So the luck comes for the person who stands first and second. It is not for who has just passed or received ATKT. For that person, it is not the luck.
True.
Correct? So luck is also one of the very important factor to understand. But there are many other, no one can cheat cause and effect.
Beautifully said. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. I mean, seriously, I really like this. I mean, it is such a profound statement that you've made right now, Dr. Galgali, that no one can cheat the cause and effect. Right.
Correct.
So really, really true. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to take a next question now. I think we've taken this question, Manjusha. Are there any side effects after COVID? We've taken that. How to protect myself from COVID and improve my immunity? I think Pramodji, we've taken this question as well. Shrikant sir, how best to avoid getting COVID after 2 shots of vaccine? Very, very good question. Don't vaccine, दो vaccine ले लिए हैं, या we've taken that. Now, how to avoid that? How to avoid that thing? Yes.
See, there are no changes of the rule of the game rules before a vaccine or after vaccine. There are same rules. There is same virus. There is same body. No different rules. There is the same game we have to play.
Okay. The pitch is not changing.
Yeah. There is no change.
True.
See, what I will let me tell you some different thing about the COVID. When the COVID started, the first statement came from Tata. He told we have to accept the disease. This is not going to vanish. After 10-15 days, Narayan Murthy sir also has said the same statement. That was seen as discouraging statement by many people. But now what has happened after this 1 year is we are accepting the disease now. Now we are prioritizing the economy. Correct? So acceptance of the disease, acceptance of the rule of your life, following the health rule is the only rule.
Kya baat. Wonderful. Thank you very much. We have a question from Harisha, and the question here is: suffering with urticaria, taking doctor suggested to neem and amla tablets, shall take vaccination. What are the precautionary measures we should take? This is the question that Harisha has. I don't know if you've understood this question because
No,
I haven't, but I'm sure you must have. Go ahead, sir.
Should I take the neem amla? I don't think I can suggest anything about the neem amla. Yes, amla is a generalized medicine. Neem is not generalized medicine. Neem has some serious effects. So if you are being suggested with this, don't try this more than 21 days.
Okay.
And don't take this neem amla as a replacement for the vaccination. Vaccination is a different route, is a different track. Neem amla is a different track.
Wow.
I think
how
this was the question. I don't get it properly. This
no,
is the these are the two parts.
yeah, correct. We have a very good question here. Rajesh Singhji is asking, sir, how to increase oxygen levels and maintain it? I am facing this problem right now.
Oxygen levels. If oxygen level is fluctuating between 99 to 95, this is good. Just don't bother. Don't check your oxygen levels. For such persons, I will tell, don't check oxygen levels if you are not having any symptoms. Between 95 to 90, if it is fluctuating like this without any oxygen supplement, then surely there are very few things. Taking deep breath and practicing the breathing exercise by elevating both your hands upside and expanding your chest and inhaling many a times, doing this in open air or after standing in open window. If you are quarantined, stand in open window and have a very deep breath. Correct? This is the thing. One is lying on stomach also helps you to increase the oxygen level. There are few medicines, but telling the generalized medicines is not a good thing ethically. One very common thing I can suggest, which can be used commonly, is Lakshmi Narayan Ras. Sorry, Lakshmi Vilas Ras. Lakshmi Vilas Ras, the common, I don't know the weight and the age and all other things. So I will give you the common dose can be practiced is 2 tablets twice a day. This will help you. There is also one very good remedy to increase the oxygen level is Jivaniya medicines, Jivaniya Gana medicines. They are very rare. Most of these medicines are grown above 5,000 feet. So in India, it is nearly available only in Himalayas. So we have to get authentic source to get these medicines. So if somebody is having that authentic source, Jivaniya Gana also helps you to increase the oxygen level. And if it is falling below 90, don't do anything, go for medical advice.
Okay. Ravi Chauhan ji, I wish a great health to your friend and he recovers fast. There is a question from him. He says, one of my friend who's admitted in hospital due to breathing problem. After all the tests, doctor tells that the lung has been infected by 75%. Sir, can you please suggest something for recovery fastly? Ravi ji, I would recommend you that you may want to have Dr. Galgali's direct, clinic contact or something like that, because I'm sure it will be more detailed that he will talk to you and it will help your friend. And from that point of view, I would recommend him to get in touch quickly so that some kind of suggestions would come out or some kind of advice would come out. Can you also write down which part of the country you've joined in from? And if you are in Pune, you can visit him. If you are not in Pune, you probably can have a Zoom call or something like that can help you. Okay, Ravi Chauhan from Garden Leaves, Ghaziabad. Okay. Ravi, no problems with that. I will make sure now that you are talking to Mr. Galgali, Dr. Galgali in personally. Don't you worry about it. Right? Thank you. I think we have almost exhausted. We've almost exhausted our questions. Dr. Galgali, this is the sign of a true giver. Without having the internet connection right, you just switched off your video and just kept answering our question. Is there something that you would want to tell people in terms of their lifestyle management? Now, when I say lifestyle management, I'm talking about one of the fundamentals that you spoke, that there is always a cause and effect. So don't forget that. And second is what do you want to eat food for? I have learned this from you, for your tongue or for your stomach. And I have learned to eat it for my stomach.
Correct.
change is, of course, you are one of the catalysts. Would you want to share some of that wisdom of yours?
Yes. Cause and effect. See, all sciences do agree that there is cause and effect relation. Any science don't differ themselves from accepting the Karya Karana Siddhanta. That is cause and effect doctrine. What differs is how this cause gets converted into effect. This understanding differs from one science to another science. So, in Ayurveda, there is not a single reason to cause only one single effect. There is no only corona is not COVID virus is not only reason to cause your disease. Just keep this in your mind. If I throw a seed on a well plowed field, water it nice, give it nice sunlight, it will germinate. If I throw it on stone, it will not germinate for years. So there are many viruses still waiting in bat and many other animals. But if you make your body as a stone, don't nourish it by water and giving sunlight, it will die. And it will leave your body healthy. So it is a need of changing of the perspective to see the health. We always blame the outside things for our health. It is always us which are responsible for our health. So there is a slok in Ayurveda, Atmanam eva manyeta kartaram sukha dukkhayoh. So you are the only responsible person for your sukha and dukkha. Correct? So following the health rule is unpleasant sometimes. Getting up early in the morning is unpleasant for some time. But that is the price you are paying for your health. See, no man wants to be unhealthy or ill. In some person is eating pani puri, he don't expect to have a bleeding on the next day. Correct? He's having that pani puri. He says that, oh, I am just relishing it. Correct? So whatever a person do, he do for his happiness. So sometimes an unhappy feeling may lead to your happiness. Putting strength to your muscles by doing some push-ups give you some unhappiness, but it is turning and investing for happiness. If you are getting early in the morning, if you are switching off your movie on the prime by 10 o'clock and sleeping, this is the unhappiness you are doing for your happiness. Correct? So that is the lifestyle control. Having a good restraint and investing for your health, that is the way to live. If you go on blaming the viruses, there are plenty viruses to come. Correct? So you will have a list of vaccines along with the list of wrong things you have done.
Wonderful. 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 And then all those wrong things will come out. All right. As we are now nearing to almost the closure of this beautiful knowledge session, can I request all the participants to open up their videos? If Dr. Galgali can and the network is okay, great. If he's not, I'm not going to push anybody.
There is
I'm
requesting
everybody to switch on their videos.
Just a minute.
As a sheer gratitude towards the man who's shared all this information to you.
Just a minute.
Full spaces.
Just a minute, Yogesh. There is one question I can see here. What
Yes,
is ideal time for doing lung CT scan?
yes, yes.
If you are already COVID positive, somebody has just posted now.
Yes, yes.
So
Okay.
the ideal timing, if you are not having symptoms, don't do it.
Okay.
First one thing. If you are having symptoms, any symptoms like breathlessness or dropping of your oxygen levels, then only you can do it after 5th or 6th day. Because 6th, 7th day are the highest peak of the virus days.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yes.
Great. I think we've got the answer for the last question as well. Can I request now? I think there are 30-40% of people who've still not opened their videos. किस चीज की शर्म है पता नहीं. But open your videos. Let's see each other. You know, ऐसी अकेले अकेले बैठे. Hi John, how are you doing? We can say hi to each other. Bhavna, how are you doing? Anandji, thank you for joining in. Diksha, thank you for joining in. Pratik, thank you. Smita, thank you. Avasab, thank you. Mahesh, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? You feeling better now?
Yeah, I am good, sir. I'm perfectly all right.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure you're going to get back quickly and we're going to
Yeah.
start working very strongly. Right,
I'm waiting
Srikanth
for
sir,
that.
thank you very much for joining. That was a very good question. Right? Can we all have a round of applause and a clap? But before we do that, hold on. Before we do that, I want everybody to rate the session from 1 to 5 because efforts need to get counted into numbers. Please rate the session from 1 to 5. Be very genuine because that's how we improve. Okay? Be very genuine. That's how we improve. So thank you very much, all of you. And now, can we have a round of applause for Dr. Galgali, who shared with us people who have joined.
Thank you.
I will receive an email in the next 24 hours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Galgali sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All his collaterals, you can talk to him. You can take his suggestions, and I'm 100% sure he's going to help all of us in these difficult times. Once again, Dr. Galgali, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Extremely gratitude, expressing my gratitude that you've been here to share this information with us and knowledge with us. You have a question, Dr. Akshay has a question. Go ahead.
Dr. Galgali, you were talking about cause and effect, and my wife has just posted a question. And if I ignore that, the effect would be longer than desired. So the question is, people generally ask about Tulsi, Neem, and some basic practices that we need to do to improve immunity. Any last words from you before we finish the session? Well, should that be a part of our regular routine to improve immunity?
See, yes, I also explain you with a see, you should stay connected with the people who are mild in nature. Those who are aggressive, you should meet them once a while. That will keep your patients sustained for a long time. Similarly, those who are having aggressive line of actions like black pepper should be consumed once a while. Tulsi can be consumed in a good season, in a mild quantity, even daily. Some mild persons like cumin seeds, dhania seeds, then jeera seeds, lemongrass, they are very sajjan people. You can be friend with them daily. No problem.
Kya baat.
Correct?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. So I hope everybody's realized behind the actual name is Vaidya Sriranga Galgali. There is a beautiful philosopher as well, right? Who teaches Ayurveda and the practices in a way very nice. क्योंकि मेरे को समझाने के लिए तो मतलब आप समझ रहे हो ना, ऐसे ही मोटी बुद्धि का आदमी हूँ तो अगर मेरे को समझा दिया तो बाकी बहुत लोगों को समझा सकते हैं. That's how it is. I once again thank you
very much. It's my privilege to be with you.
Thank you
so much, Dr. Galgali, and I think you were one of the most affirmative voices that I have heard on this subject. for the first time in my life, I'm hearing somebody who's so clear, balanced, and that speaks volumes about the genes that you come from. So God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bye bye. Bye everybody. Bye bye everybody. Bye bye.